In this action-adventure simulation game, you manage a restaurant supported by your adventures in the dungeon. You begin in the lovely town of a fantasy world. Here you have a restaurant. You manage this together with a cat cook, but you mainly do the work. In the restaurant you can do a lot. On the first floor there's a dining area, the kitchen, and you will need to do stuff at the front door. Then you also can go upstairs, there you have a loft. You have a bed where you can go to sleep after every shift you have done. A fun thing is that you can look at a lot of stuff here. The dining area is not really something where you need to be. During your shift you are mostly in the kitchen, except when you have to talk to someone. Then you have the kitchen. Here you have a food pantry, a cutting station, a combining station, an oven and a frying station. Which I think is a grill, and I believe you do not fry with a grill but cook with a grill. You also have a boiling pot where you can heat something like stews. In the pantry you can find all the food you have found in the dungeon. You can either pick up grey ingredients or white ingredients. The two colors tell you if you're cooking with old ingredients or fresh ingredients. However, they just give you a bad rating or an eatable rating. This rating you can improve by performing a task you need to do for the recipe. The easiest and most clear task I find is the grill. With all the cooking stations you need to first put all the stuff in and then perform the task. In the cutting station you need to cut ingredients. This you do tapping, sometimes at a fast pace and sometimes at a slow pace. In the boiling station you need to boil stews or soups. You perform this task by stirring the fluid. This one has a flame under it so that you can set it higher or lower. This causes the cooking process to speed up. Then in the oven you need to press something to get your cooking out. Flame here also can be adjusted. At the frying station you also need to tap once like in the oven. You can also adjust the fire here. I think the frying station and the baking station are a lot alike. Then at the combination station you can combine ingredients to make dishes that need to be baked, boiled or fried. You can combine up to 4 plates, but I don't know why you need 4, I only use 1. If you're ready to begin your shift you can go to the cooking bell. Here you can also decide which dishes go on the menu that night. In the kitchen you also have your colleague to talk to. You can hire staff which doesn't cost money but just takes a cut of your earnings. Good for short term, but for long term it isn't so good. At the same cat you can also get to choose which order dishes your staff cooks. You can also automate this, but I like doing it myself. In the town there isn't too much to do, however you can find a few people. A dude training, an elder, a guild master, a poser, a botanist, a blacksmith and what is your cooking master. Talking to everyone I have found that only the blacksmith gives you a screen. I found that the town is quite big but you walk very slow. Luckily you can run. Then from the town we go on to the dungeon. Only the way into the dungeon is a bit weird, because you can't enter via the entrance. You have to go to the board. Also a weird thing is the loading screen to the dungeon, because you need to select where you want to go, but then you head to a different location. But this makes more sense later on in the game. In the dungeon you explore rooms, fight against enemies and get bodied by bosses, like every dungeon crawler. Once you finish the enemies in a room, the fine doors will open and a beetle will appear. The beetle will give you a tiny beetle on your back. This one shoots out every now and then. I think those bullets are quite handy against the smaller enemies but not against the bosses. In the other rooms you might encounter a poser attacked by a pork, a botanist stuck in a plant, a beetle upgrade wheel which is for that run, or a key. The key opens up a room with a reward ball in it. During the dungeon run your movements will be a bit different than in the town. The only thing that changes is that instead of running you dodge. Also, if you're a bit into the game you will get a hammer from the blacksmith which you can use in the dungeon. On the map top right you can see the rooms from the dungeon and where you're headed to next. If the room next to our discovered room is the boss room, you can see it on the map. Or you see where you need to go to use that beetle key, because the wall that needs the key is visible. And earlier this week we had Cuisinier coming out, so I'm really excited to play that this Saturday. So if you want to see that, subscribe. Or if you want to see other amazing indie games, click here. Thank you for watching, until next time.